you guys in the second half today, especially on the defensive end?
They started off on an 8-0 run to start the second half, and the first unit kept it relatively close, and then our bench kind of came in and kept that same energy. And, I think Trace was a huge impact tonight. I think he, had an impact on Wembanyama. Obviously he had 27 points, but it took him 25 shots to get that. And I think Trace did a good job of, having a well-rounded game. Bunch of rebounds, bunch of assists, scored the ball. Obviously his dunk that everybody saw, but, his impact plus 20 tonight. So just super proud of, our bench group that came in and, kept uplifting our group.
What did that dunk look like from your vantage point? How excited were you?
I was very excited, especially, my fellow rookie, doing a lot of stuff with him, like off the court and stuff like that. So to see him succeed and shine, it's a joy for me. But just momentum shift, kind of after he dunked that, the game was kind of over. Sucked the life out of the building.
Coach, you talked about the last game about how their pace sort of got to y'all. How were you able to kind of contain their pace?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it was their pace. I think it was just they played harder. We didn't bring it on Sunday or Saturday, and obviously, they played really well. They're a team that, tries to create an advantage and swings the ball around and, tries to shoot open shots. And if you're not locked in and you're not playing with energy and force, they made 51% of their threes last game. Tonight, holding them to 38%, is definitely a big key for us, but also just, showing what we're about and, not letting anybody punk us.
Came off the bench tonight for the first time in about a month. How different, if at all, was your preparation and your approach to the game?
Not at all. I don't care about starting. I always want to finish the game, and I finished the game tonight. So, whether I'm starting, whether I'm coming off the bench, I led the team in minutes regardless. So it doesn't really matter to me. Whoever coach feels best to start, that's who he's going to start. And for everybody else, you kind of just got to adapt to it. And, I played 35 minutes tonight, so obviously I was doing something right. And like I said, just wanted to always finish the game rather than start.
What are some of the subtleties you picked up on with Chris's game that allowed him to continue to be so effective year in and year out?
Yeah, I think just when you're off the ball, just kind of giving him space. He kind of knows what he's doing, from the three-point line into the paint. And, he just plays at his own pace. He's not going to jump over anybody or blow past anybody now. But he always finds his way to get to his spots, using contact and all that kind of stuff. So just being able to watch it from the corner or wherever I'm at, it's still learning while the game's going on.
I think 2 lobs, pocket pass, 2. How would you describe the connection that you have and that you've developed with him in the pick and roll?
It's really good. If you watch this team play for a long time, they move the ball and share the ball extremely well. And with the shooting that we have and Draymond creating and stuff, Trace gives us a different dimension with a lob threat. And so I think we complement each other really well.
What are you reading when Victor Wembanyama is out on the floor with his size and his rim protection? How were you able to so effectively kind of orchestrate offense around him?
Sometimes you try to put him in action away from the ball just to keep him far away from the rim. But he's such a smart player and a good defender that he changed a couple of my middies tonight. Yeah, you got to shoot it to the moon. You know what I mean? And one of the lobs I threw to Trace, he got a hand on it. So he does a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet.
What kind of rhythm do you guys establish in the beginning of the second half on both ends of the floor? I think it was a 28-4 run. Just what kind of rhythm do you feel like you guys were able to find?
Well, they came out and hit us hard, the third quarter. As far as we couldn't really get stops. We was turning the ball over a little bit, and then we called a timeout, and we just settled in. I think we just started defending, getting out in transition, and just tried to get a little bit more aggressive.
You've obviously played against so many amazing players, in this league. Wembanyama will be one of those at one point, I guess. What's it like for you to see him come into the league and to be, a rookie at an unfinished product?
Man, it's really cool because I'm a student of this game, and I do a lot of grassroots basketball, and I watch these guys, and I know the work that goes into it. So I went to go see him play when he played against the G League team a year or two ago or whatnot. So to see him putting it all together and to know the type of work ethic that I mean, I'm old enough now that the coaches and all that stuff is people I played against and all that. So to hear how they talk about him around here is pretty cool too.
Just talk about the mindset coming in after having lost to the Spurs.
Yeah, the Chicago game was a tough one. We felt like that was a winnable game. San Antonio the other day, they just played harder than us. You know, we didn't really move the ball, didn't execute, and we just wanted to come out. We got a 3-game trip. We always say you can't win them all without winning the first one, so we wanted to start it off the trip right.
What do you think of Tracy's dunk over Wemby?
It's tough. Which one? You know what I mean? I don't even know who he caught some of the lobs on, you know, but that one towards the end of the game was a big play. When you're in these games night in and night out, it's plays like that sort of like seal the game. So that was one of those like, okay, we got it.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know yet about how Vic's going to be tomorrow, or is that a tomorrow?
The game just ended. I had no idea.
Talk to him after.
Yeah, we probably talked to him after. We'll probably talk to Devin the same way.
Is there anything particular in the dynamic of the game that changed from the first quarter when you're up 37-29?
Were you guys all out there? Did you see we got scored 30-6 in a 7-minute period? That's what went wrong.
What disappointed you most about the game?
That we lost. Anybody got any questions that might make some sense? I'd be happy to answer them. You know, if you lose, oftentimes you do a few things poorly. If you win, you do more things well, and you have a chance to win. If they had a 30-6 run, we probably did some pretty bad things during that period. And you can just guess, just write down whatever you want. It's a simple game, right? You turn it over, you miss shots, they make shots, your defense sags, maybe you don't rebound. It's all of the above. There's no secret, so to say what went wrong doesn't make a whole lot of sense. All those things went wrong. And then you lose the game. Anybody else, anything else?
Looked like you had a little moment with Chris Paul there toward the end. How much respect do you have for him, what he does?
He's one of the all-time, best competitors ever in the league. He's a, great leader, great competitor. It's always fun to see him. I just hope he stays healthy for the whole year because he's really important to those guys.
He's 40-40 against you guys. He's played you 80 times.
Is that right?
40-40.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. That's a lot of games, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he's up there, one of the best.
How did you feel, Victor, coming off the 2 games off?
How'd I feel? Great rhythm, surprisingly. I thought I would struggle more on this, but I think, with my hands I was a little bit clumsy, I would say. This is how I felt. But I'm glad, I have that rhythm, and it's going to be important tomorrow too, on the back-to-back.
Physically, you mentioned you didn't think you would feel as good. How did you think? Because I don't know, it was your ankle. I thought you were grabbing at your hip, your back, like all that in Houston. So how did you think you were going to feel coming into this?
Of course, all the pains with so many days of rest. They have time to ease off, but the counterpart is maybe the rhythm would have been affected a little bit, and the stamina. My body felt great, this wasn't the problem tonight.
Overall, I know we've talked about your body before and getting used to an 82-game season. What for you has been, I guess, the biggest adjustment overall in making sure your body is able to make it through everything that the NBA throws at it?
I would say the biggest adjustment is no matter the circumstances, we have to do what we can and do a lot, because we're not going to have quality time all the time. For example, we might have to take a nap on the bus or eat snacks somewhere, you know. And but so quality is always important, but we also have to do a lot of quantity, you know, game ready. I mean, ice, pressure, you know, everything.
And how much do you want to make it through the end of the season? I know you have a big summer coming up with Olympics, but being able to make it and play games in April and go right to the end of the schedule is the goal.
I mean, it's no question for me. I mean, how much do I want it? As much as I wanted it all season, I have this responsibility towards my team.
What do you take away from that third quarter as a learning experience, what you all have to do differently to avoid a 20-4 run or whatever they went on?
So obviously consistency as always, but today I think it's also responding to the physicality that they put. We didn't have a strong enough response, I think.
We ask you a lot about facing, the legends, the guys that you saw growing up, but, facing a young kid like Jackson Davis, is that also, just going head-to-head with another rookie like that? What's that like, knowing that he wants to come at you pretty hard?
I mean, it's, I know everyone, I mean, a lot of guys want to come at me like this hard all game, but it's sometimes, especially for veterans, but also especially for rookies. So it's it's another challenge, but I mean, sometimes rookies feel like we can feel like we have something to prove against guys our age or more or less our age, but it's I mean, yeah.
Did you get to talk to Kenny Atkinson?
No, maybe I will. Not yet.
Maxime. Ouais, sur ce week-end, sur deux matchs qui vont arriver là à Austin, tout à l'heure tu t'en parlais, tu me dis que tu étais passé rapidement à Austin avec l'équipe, mais je sais que c'est un marché qui est important pour les Spurs d'aller là-bas. Qu'est-ce que ça représente pour toi d'aller jouer là-bas? Si ça représente quelque chose, est-ce que tu vas avoir le temps aussi? Enfin, je sais que ça va être compliqué dans les jours, mais est-ce que c'est une ville qui t'intéresse aussi à découvrir?
Ouais, bien sûr, bien sûr. J'ai été rapidement avec l'équipe plus tôt dans l'année, et moi j'attends de voir. Enfin, on m'a parlé en bien des installations et de la salle, donc j'attends de voir. Enfin, ça va être excitant. Et puis je pense rien que le fait de changer d'environnement pour les fans et pour nous aussi, ça rajoute quelque chose. Donc ouais. Et bien sûr, c'est une ville. Enfin, pas qu'au niveau du basket, mais aussi dans l'État, au Texas, dans la région, c'est une ville qui se développe bien.
Quand c'est rare que tu te fasses dunker dessus en match, là l'action en l'occurrence c'était un peu le bras je crois. Est-ce que tu peux nous raconter un petit peu ça, et puis surtout comment est-ce que toi tu fais pour toujours en fait être sous le panier, à défendre, sauter en sachant que c'est une possibilité, et comment t'encaisses du coup quand le défenseur passe, ce qui est rare mais ce qui arrive ce soir?
Disons que c'est, enfin, si j'avais aucune chance de contrer le tir, et si j'avais plus de chances de faire faute que de contrer le tir, je n'irais pas, bien sûr, parce que c'est ce qui est mieux pour l'équipe. Mais dans 99% des cas, je peux y aller, donc j'y vais, même si à se faire dunker dessus, c'est rien, quoi. Ça fait partie du jeu. Je dunk sur beaucoup de gens et beaucoup de gens me dunkent dessus, c'est comme ça. Mais je pense que je contre plus souvent que je me fais dunker dessus, donc c'est positif.
Thanks, Vic.